Right. අයිබෝන් පුතා. ඔබට වැහෙනව නේද? Right. Let's we start the first paper discussion of O-level maths, English medium maths. Okay. හොඳයි. එහෙනම් අපි දැන් පුතා අද පළවෙනිම session එක අපේ paper class එකේ. ඒකට මේකේ grade 11 ළමයි ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේම right. Let's we start with the first paper discussion of O-level maths. හරි. එතකොට එහෙනම් අපි අද පළවෙනි පේපර් ඩිස්කෂන් එක පටන් ගන්නවා. එතකොට මම හිතන්නේ හැමෝම පේපර් එක කරලා ඉන්නේ. මොන හරි ඔයාලට ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා නම් ස්ට්‍රීමින් එකේ පොඩ්ඩක් මට මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න. එහෙනම් අපි පළවෙනි පේපර් ඩිස්කෂන් එකට යමු. එතකොට මම අර කිව්වේ වගේ පේපර් එකේ කොහොමද කන්ටෙන්ට් එක කොහොමද පේපර් එක හැදෙන්නේ සහ එක එක ප්‍රශ්නේ ඉන් ඩීටේල් රිවිව් එකක් මම ඔයාලට දෙනවා. හරිද? right මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලට මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් මැත්ස් වල තියෙන එකක් අහන්න පුළුවන් ඩිරෙක්ට්. ඒවට මම උත්තර දෙනවා. හරි. එකපාරට ඩිරෙක්ට් අහන්න කැමති නැත්තම් ටෙක්ස්ට් එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි මම කිව්වේ මේක ලයිව් සෙෂන් එකක් වෙන්න ඕනි. ෆිසිකල් ක්ලාස් එකක් වගේම ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක් ලයිව් අහන්න. මේක ඔයාලගේ පන්තිය කරගෙන හොඳ මේකේ අවුට්කම් එකක් ගන්න. මේ අවුරුදු පුරාවටම විභාග වෙනකන් අපි මේ වැඩසටහන කරගෙන යනවා. හරි. එහෙනම් අපි ඔන්න ඩිස්කෂන් එකට යනවා. Right. So I will share the paper with you. This is the paper. Right. This is the paper what we have shared with you previously. This is the paper number 1. So I will go one by one questions and then you can correct the answers. So remember that I am not just giving the answers. I will give a detailed review on each questions and how they appear in the exam and how the content of the paper. Right. Everyone take a CR size book and make your notes and any additional things that you learn with regard to the paper discussion, right? In the first paper, you can start up with paper number 1. So now we are in the paper number 1, and then write your comments under the each questions. Imagine in questions 1, you gain something newly, you can note down it under question number 1. Then question number 2, if you gain any new things, you can note down it by a red pen, right? So that will be very important. So at the end of each sessions, you may see to your book and you will see what are the things I gained within today's discussion, right? So now I will move to the question number 1. The annual assessed value of a building is rupees 80,000. The local authority charge 6% of the annual value as rates. Find the amount that should be paid as rates for a year. Right. Remember, we have the percentage type questions. Under the percentage type questions, one format is the rates. Right. So these rates being charged annually. Sometimes it is quarterly. Right. Annually or quarterly. Right. So annually means per year they charge the rates and sometimes they charge quarterly. Quarter means 1/4 of a year. That means year is 12 months. So we have 4 quarters per year. That means 3 months per quarter. Right. So remember 4 quarters per year. By the duration, it is 3 months. Right, don't mix these two things, right? Summer make a pattern, 3 quarter the 4 quarter, the 4 quarter per year, but the time period is 3 months per quarter, Right. So now they are asking not the quarterly payments, the annual payments. So how to do this type of percentage equations? Just see the percentage, that is 6%. So 6% as a fraction, you convert 6 upon 100. That means if the annual assessed value is 100, you charge 6% per year, right? Understand the concept. 6% is the annual assess, 100%, 100 is the annual assessed value, then 6% is the rate. So if that's so, what is the annual assessed value here? 80,000 rupees. So rupees 80,000. Right. So how you simplify? Two zeros being cancelled. Then 8 into 6, 4,800. So that gives you 4,800 rupees. So that is the annual payment. So you have to, if they ask quarter payments, what you do? You divide it by 4 because 4 quarter for their per year. Right. හොඳයි පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නය ඔකේ හැමෝටම එහෙනම් අපි ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්නෙට යනවා question number 2. So I think you have the paper, so I will stop the sharing. So next question, see everyone. Second question. So we have a semicircle, right? So we have a semicircle. They are asking find the arc length of the semicircle. Here the diameter is 14 centimeter, right? They ask the arc length. So arc length is this outer length. So this is the arc length, right? So there are two wordings. They are arc length and perimeter, right? So if you consider this is arc length, if they ask the perimeter, that means arc length plus the diameter. Diameter means 2 radius, right? So but they ask in the arc length. So we know that in a full circle, the arc length or the circumference is defined as equal to 5r. Right. In a full circle, the arc length is 2πr. But here the semicircle, that means half of that. So we can write the arc length here, full circle 2πr. So you write half of that. So in front of that, you can apply half. So now C equal 1/2 of into 2 into 5 is 22 upon 7 into R. So R, remember that R is not 14, that half of that, that is 7 centimeter. Right. So you apply 7 centimeter. Then see the simplification. 7 1 7 1 cancelled. And here 2 1 2 1 cancelled. So now C equal 22 centimeter. So the circumference is 22 centimeter. That is the arc length of the semicircle. So that gives you 22 centimeter. But remember in the exam, if they ask the perimeter, so you have to add this arc length to its diameter, means 2 radius, 22 plus 14. That's the perimeter. But here they ask in the arc length. Right. සමහර ළමයි මේක පටල ගන්නවා arc length එකයි perimeter එකයි. Perimeter එක හද්දි arc length එක විතරක් දුන්නොත් වැරදි. Right? Perimeter means the arc length plus 2 radius. Right. Remember that. The මේ ඔයාලා දන්නවා ඇති පුතා, but remember the additional things that I am discussing here. Right. ඔන්න ඊළඟට මම කියන කතාව හොඳට අහගන්න. Right. මේක පැහැදිලිනේ. So you know that in the exam we have the first paper. So under the first paper, it clearly mentioned, මේවා තාම වැදගත් points මේවා note කරගන්න. So it clearly mentioned under the first paper, it shall be given, right, these 3 types of sectors only. So this is the semicircle with the angles obtained in the center is 180, and half of that means a 90-degree sector with the angle at the center is 90 degree, and the half of this 90 is again 45. Right. So this is 45 degree sector. Right. So remember only these 3 sectors to be given in the O-level paper. So you will not have like 30-degree sectors, 60-degree sectors, or any other angles other than 180, 90, or 45. So for the exam, remember these 3 sectors. So you have to remember how to find the arc length, the common formula is equal to 5r, right? So as per the sector, how you vary that? Here a semicircle, mean in the full circle, half of that. So you write in front of that half into 25r, right? So this is 1/4 of a full circle, right? So you write is 1/4 of mean multiplication full circle. Full circle is 25r, right? This is 1/8 equal 1/8 of full circle. Full circle is 25r. So that is how the formulas being created, right? Normally we apply from 360, 180 into 25r. Here 360, 90 degree into 25r. But when it simplify further, we can see the fraction as 1/4, 1/2 and 1/8, right? Remember that easiest way, right? So remember now in the exam or level paper, in first paper I'm discussing, first paper you may have these three types sectors only. No any other sectors being given, right? උත්තර අල්ල ගන්න මේවා. ඒකත් දැන් පැහැදිලිනේ. ඒරියා ප්‍රශ්නේ බැරිලා මේකට දැන් පුළුවන් මේ සෙක්ටර් තුන ඔළුවට දාගන්න ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්න. ඒකට ආක් ලෙන්ත් එක හොයන්න අනිවාර්යෙන්ම වෙනවා එක්සෑම් එකේදී. සාමාන්‍ය පෙරිමීටර් ගාන ආපුවාම කොහේ හරි සෙක්ටර් එකක ආක් ලෙන්ත් එකක් හොයන්න එනවා. ඒකට මෙන්න ෆෝමියුලාස් තුන. right? බලන්න ආයි පාඩම් කරන්න එපා. මේක සර්කල් එකෙන් half, මේක සර්කල් එකෙන් 1/4, මේක 1/8 එක ඇඟට දැනින්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට ෆෝමියුලා එක ජෙනරේට් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. පැහැදිලි? right. එහෙනම් ඔන්න ඔය ටික දැන් අලුතෙන් නෝට් කරගන්න. ඒකෝර තමන්ගේ ඉක්වේෂන් නම්බර් එක දැම්මා, පේපර් එක තමන් ගාව තියෙනවා. right. මේ පොයින්ට්ස් ටික දාගත්තා. ඒකට ආයි බලන්න දෙයක් නෑ. right? So when we are discussing the area, again I will refresh your knowledge regarding the area. So here we discuss only the arc length, right? Okay, fine. Now we are moving to the next question. So I will further provide the recording also, so you can go through slowly what we discuss, right? But I prefer if all of you can join with the live session, then it will be very clear to everyone, right? Okay, now the next question I will move. Right, question number 3 is solve the equation. So I will write the equations for you. 3 into x minus 2, right, plus 1 equal 9, right. Right, now this is a simple equation. How to identify whether it's a simple equation or not? We have 3 types of equations in the oral paper. First one, simple equation. Right, the second one, simultaneous equation. Right, the next one, the quadratic equations. So I will further do some revisions regarding these theory parts, right? But similarly, listen to the concept. So here simple equations, because here we have only one unknown terms and the power of unknown term, the maximum power of unknown term is 1. So that is defined as a simple equations, right? තියෙන පුළුවන් පුතා එක unknown term එකයි එක unknown term එකේ maximum power 1 simple equation. හදන අපි මොන equations ඒව දන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි කොහොම හරි කරලා අර මම කියන්නේ concepts නැහැ. කටපාඩමේ වගේ equation එක solve කරලා x ට උත්තරයක් ආවා. සමහර වෙලාවට ඒක ටිකක් දැනෙන්නෙත් නැහැ මොකද්ද මේ ආපු උත්තරේ කියලා. right, එහෙම ගොඩක් ළමයි මැත්ස් ඉගෙන ගන්න. හැබැයි අපි නිකන් මේ definition මේක මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම කියලා එහෙම දැනුමකුත් එක්ක යන්නේ මාර වටිනවා මැත්ස් වල. right, ඔයාලා විශේෂයෙන් මම කියන්නේ උසස් පෙළ science maths වගේ කරනවා නම් සෑහෙන්නේ logical thinking එක වැදගත් වෙනවා. හොඳ විෂය ධාරාවක් ඔස්සේ ඉස්සරහට යන එක. right, එතකොට ඒක නිසා ඒවත් පොඩ්ඩක් ඔලුවට දාගන්න. මම කියන ඕන විෂය ධාරාවක් කරත් මේ maths හොඳට ඉගෙන ගන්න එක පුදුම විදියට වටිනවා. අපි වෙන විෂය ධාරාවකටත් මේක ඉම්පැක්ට් එක මාරු විදියට තියෙනවා. maths ඉගෙන ගන්න කොහොමද arts පුළුවන් වෙනවා ඒක. ඒක එහෙම තමයි. මේ ඉම්පැක්ට් එක තියෙන නිසා මේ කාලෙත් හොඳටම ඇති ඔයාලට හරි හොඳට විෂය ඉගෙන ගන්න. right, එහෙනම් simple equations you know that here the maximum power is 1 and we have one unknown term, so here x is there. So how to solve simple equations? Remember that. So the solving equations mean what? Solving mean actually we are subjecting the unknown terms. The unknown terms is x. So remember we have learned some lessons of subjecting formula. Why reasons? So it is a help for the solving in equations, right? So what I do here, I need to subject x. So x is related here with operation with -2 and here with multiplication operation and here with addition 1, but it's separately being added. Okay. So what I do, I will eliminate the terms which are extracted with X, right? Step by steps. මං එකින් එකට මේකේ X ට බැඳිච්ච ටික අයින් කරගෙන යනවා, right? So that is our main concept, right? So what I do first here, I eliminate this plus one with the opposition of the operation. Opposition of plus one is -1. So what I do, 3 into x minus 2 is there. Plus 1 I bring -1 for the both sides. So plus 1 minus 1 being cancelled. So 3 into x minus 2 equal 9 minus 1 means 8. But here remember 3 into x minus 2 multiplication, then multiplication to be eliminated by division, right? So I do the division both sides. Then 3 being cancelled out. Then x minus 2 being subjected as 8 upon 3. But remember, in O-level paper, we may not have much complex simplifications, right? But we cannot say that we will not have this type of cases. So you have to know how to solve this type of fractions form, right? So now x minus 2 is there. How to eliminate -2? I bring the opposition of -2 plus 2 to the both side, 8 upon 3 plus 2. Then see there, -2 plus 2 cancelled out. Then x equal 8 upon 3 plus 2. So this is a fraction and a whole number. So the similar principles there, when you add it as two fractions, how to convert these two as a fraction? You can make the negative 1, right? Then 3, 1 there. So I bring this as denominator 3, writing equivalent fraction. Then 8 upon 3 plus 2 into 3, 6 upon 3. So 3 is there. So 8 plus 6, 14. So 14 upon 3. So this is improper fraction. So you have to write it as a mixed number. So how? For 14, how many 3's there? Right. We have 4. Right. 3's, then 3. Then 3 into 4, 12. And 14, 2. So you can keep x equal. This is the answer. Right? This is as a fraction mode. But remember, in first paper, we may not have this type of uncommon simplification, right? But familiar with this type of simplification. Can everyone hear me? Hands up those who can hear nicely. Okay. Right. Okay, fine. හරි අපි ප්‍රශ්නේ ඕකේ මම කිව්වේ මේක අන්කොමන් සිම්ප්ලිෆිකේෂන් එකක්. ඒ කියන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් ෆස්ට් පේපර් එකක් විදිහට ගත්තාම සාමාන්‍ය සිම්ප්ලිෆිකේෂන් එක රීසනබල් සහ නයිස්. මේ වගේ සිම්ප්ලිෆිකේෂන් එකක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එන්නේ නැහැ O level ෆස්ට් පේපර් එකට. ෆ්‍රැක්ෂන් මෝඩ් එක පොඩ්ඩක් ළමයින්ට ටිකක් hard නිසා. මේක සෙකන්ඩ් පේපර් එකට ඇක්සෙප්ටබල්. ෆස්ට් වගේ පේපර් එකට වගේ මේ වගේ එකක් ඇක්සෙප්ටබල් නැහැ. ඒක විතියාගන්න හැබැයි ඒක concept එක ගන්න fraction එකකුයි whole number එකකුයි add කරන එකයි. තව වෙනත් ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. right මේකේ 2 එකට 8 upon 3 එකපාරම add වුණාම 2 8 upon 3 but 8 upon 3 again a improper fractions, then again you have to convert as a mixed number, right? Okay, now we are moving to the question number 4. Right. Question number 5 is find the value of logarithm. Right. Question number 5. Logarithm of 1 to the base 5. So they are asking find the value of right. මේකේ පුතා අපිට value එක අහනවා. එතකොට අපි මේක argue කරන්නේ log එකක් argue කරන්නේ මෙහෙමයි. Right. Remember that. We are saying that right which power of 5 ඔන්න බලන්න මම මේ හිතන විදිය which power of 5 gives the value 1. I හිතන්න which power of 5 is equal to 1. Which power of 5 is equal to 1? We know that any number except 0, the first 0 is 1, right? Any base, the power 0 power equal to 1 except 0. So 0 to the power 0. Right. හරිනේ. අපට වැහෙනවනේ පොඩ්ඩක් මේ සිග්නල් පොඩ්ඩක් ඩ්‍රොප් වෙනවා වගේ. හරි. දැන් මේකට මම සිග්නල් කේස් එක පොඩ්ඩක් හදා ගන්නම්. එතෙක් අපි මෙහෙම කරගෙන යමු. ඉස්සරහට ගැටලුවක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොනවා හරි ඔයාලට තියෙන ගැටලු තියෙනවා නම් මට මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න ස්ට්‍රීමින් එකේ අවුල් තියෙනවා නම්. හරි. Right. So which power of 5 gives you the answer 1? So our answer is 5 to the power 0. But you have to give the answer which power, only the power. The power is 0. Right. So the answer is 0. Imagine this one, logarithm of 5. So how you argue that one? Which power of 5 gives you the 5? Which power of 5? පහේ කීවෙනි power එකද 5 වෙන්නේ. පහේ පළවෙනියා. So answer is 1. So imagine argue that. How to argue this one to find the logarithm? Which power of 5 gives you the 25? Which power gives you 25? 5 into 5. That means 5 to the power 2. So 2 is the answer. So you know that how the logarithm equations is being set up in the O-level paper. This is the setup. See there. So this is the discussion regarding the logarithm. So if we have, imagine 2 to the power 5 equal 32, right? So there are two methods. This is called the index method because here we have base and index. So in the exam, they ask index to convert as a logarithm. The other format, logarithm index. On no formats they can have revision. So this is under the index format, no log values there. So you have to convert to the logarithm format. How? We check this is base, right? So you take the logarithm of the other side where the base is not located. So you take the logarithm of the other side 32, logarithm 32, but you should have base for the logarithm. So you bring that base to the other side. So base is 2, right? Then base is taken out. Now the power is isolated. So 5. That is how you deal with the index to the logarithm format, right? අපි ඉස්සරහට ඔය වගේ parts discuss කරමු. ඒක ඔළුවට දාගන්න. එහෙනම් මේක මට කියන්න 10 to the power 2 equal 100. How to find, how to write it as the logarithm format? So not the base side, you take the other side's logarithm of 100. you should have a base there. So bring that base 10 to be that base, and then power is isolated as the answer too. That is the logarithm format. Then aram balana past papers mama bodu kiyala. Right. Innima logarithm making clearly mentioned in our papers and ESC content again. Right. Logarithm to the index form or for index form to the logarithm only in the first paper questions. So in the first paper. In paper 2, we may have the logarithm simplifications, but here just conversion log to the index to index to the log. Right. See again the theory parts, and if you have any doubts, you can ask. Right. Okay. Right. Now we are moving to the next questions. මම එකයි කිව්වේ දැන් ඔයාලට මුලින්ම දැනෙන්න ඇති මේ ප්‍රශ්න 25ක මොනවද ඇත්ත ලිස්ට් කරන්න කියලා. ඔය 25න් පුතා හරියටම ගියොත් theory parts වලට කියන්නේ කිවි දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ තරම් බේස් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒ කෙටි ප්‍රශ්න වල අපි නොදැක්කට. කෙටි ප්‍රශ්න වලින් කොහොමද අපි සිලබස් එක ටච් කරන්නේ? කොහොමද ඒකෙන් එන ප්‍රශ්න මොනවද කියන එක ඇත්තටම ලොකු රිවිව් එකකට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා ඔයාලත් දැන් අර පෑන අරගෙන රතු පෑනෙන් නෝට් ඩවුන් කරගන්න තමන් අලුතින් ඉගෙන ගන්න දේවල් මොනවද කියලා. ඒකට තමන්ට පේපර් ක්ලාස් එක සීරීස් එක අවසානයේ මේ පොත අරන් බලපුවාම තේරෙයි තම කොච්චර ප්‍රෝග්‍රස් එකක් අරන් තියෙනවද. මුල්ම කාලේ මම දැනන් හිටියේ නෑ මේවා. හැබැයි day by day මම ඉම්ප්‍රූව් වුණා කියලා. මම කියන්නේ මේ මැත්ස් විෂයට මම අර මුලින්ම කිව්වා වගේ ආස කරන්න ඕනේ අපි. ඕන දෙයක් අපිට පිළිගන්නේ අපි දැන් ඕන දෙයකට අපි ආසාවෙන් ඉඳන්නේ පසුපස්සේ දුවන්නේ. ඒ ආසාව නැත්නම් අපිට දෙයක් කරන්න බෑ. ඒ වගේම ඉගෙනීමට දැන් ඔය කාලේ තියෙන ඔච්චරනේ ඉතින් කරන්නේ. ඉගෙන ගන්න කාලේ ඒකට පුදුම විදිහට ආස කරන්නේ. එන්ජොයි කරන්නේ වැඩි. අපි කරන වැඩේ එන්ජොයි කරනවා. මැත්ස් හදන්නේ මං හරි ආසයි. රයිට්. මට හරි විනෝදයි ගානක උත්තරයක් දෙනකොට මං හරි ආසයි. එතකොට කවුරුත් කියන්න ඕනේ අපිට මැත්ස් කරන්න ගණන් හදන්න පේපර්ස් කරන්න. අපි ඔය කරනවා. හරි. ඒතර අපි ඒ කාලේ එහෙම තමයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ. මං කියනවා ඔයාලටත් එහෙම ටාගට්ස් වලට යන්නේ. ඒක ඉබේටම අපි ටාගට්ස් වලට ගිහිල්ලා හරි අපි ඉන්ජොයි කරලා සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක ඉන්ජොයි කරලා මැත්ස් ඉන්ජොයි කරලා අපි ඉබේ මේ ටාගට්ස් වලට යන නිසා හීනෙට හොඳට වැඩ කරන්න. දැන් පොඩි කාලේ තව තියෙන ඉතින් ඕ ලෙවල් ලියන්න ඔයාලට මෙපා ලියන අයට සහ පස්සේ ලියන අයට. හරි. ඉතින් ඒක මුල ඉඳලම හදාගන්න. right හොඳයි. ඇහෙනව නේද හැමෝටම? right. අපි දැන් ඊළඟ කොටසට යමු. ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්නය හොඳට බලන්න. Question number 5. Find the value of x and y in the figure. Right. So I will draw the figure for you. Right. See everyone. Here we have two parallel lines. Right. And here we have a transversal. Right. And here we have a triangle creating, and y here 110 is there, and here y angle there, and here 50 and x is there. Right. So this is a geometric equations. You know that under the geometry how many equations are set up in the O-level paper? How many equations? 8 equations. So out of 25 equations, geometric equations are there 8. Right. So these are big weightage, right, in the paper. Right. So this is coming under geometry, and you know that in the geometry we have the competencies. Appear, you know, competencies, right? The competency 1, 2, 3, 5 home competencies, you know, hammer theme make a cover, right? So we have each competencies in all the themes of the math. So if one competency is given in one questions, maybe that competency may be given, but mostly they are the paper setup is done as not repeating too much. Right. වෙන්න පුළුවන් එකක් දැන්. හැබැයි යාර බලන්න මේ competency එක covered නම් then we look to the other product. Right. Right. හරි නේද? Right. Okay, පුතා. So this is the geometric equations that we were discussing. So here you can see two parallel lines are there and here transversal. So when the two lines are parallel, you can see these two are allied angles. So you know that the sum of the allied angles is add up to 180 degrees. So here 110 and here x is there. So you know that x plus 110 equal 180. So the sum of the allied angles are add up to 180. So now you can subject here x as subtracting 180 from other side. So x equal now 70. So once you found an angle in geometric equations, right? Better to mark the angles in the diagram. So here 110 and here x found as 70. So mark 70 there. Now you can see the angles, right? Try to extend here the extended side and you can see an exterior angle y of this triangle. So you know that the exterior angle equals interior, this is interior, interior opposite sum, right? So y equal, this is the interior of y and not the interior, opposite of the interior, right? That is 50 and 70. So y equal 50 plus 70. Right, then y equal 120 degrees. So x equal right. So now we are moving to the next questions. Padley, network issue එකකුත් තමන් හරි resolve කරන්න ඊළඟ දවස් අද පොඩි ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා මේ network එකේ. හරි. Next we are moving to the question number 6. Find the LCM of this 3m squared, right? The other one 8m squared in, right? Then 6mn squared, right? Remember how I do these equations in very short method. right මේක ඔයාලා expansion කරලා ගන්න method එකයි ඔයාලා දන්නේ. හැබැයි මම අද හදනවා right 1 minutes වත් යන්නේ නැහැ මේ ක්‍රමයට. හොඳට අල්ලගන්න. Right, least common multiple. So in O level exam there is a competency to give LCM, right? As per the competency it gives it mentioned that the maximum power cannot go for more than I can remember 3 or something, right? We can make power එක ගොඩක් 3 මට මතක විදිහට 3 වලට වඩා වැඩි ඒවා ඉන්නේ නැහැ exam එකේ. ඊට පස්සේ algebraic expressions දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපිට syllabus එකේ තියෙනවා පොතේ තියෙනවා textbook එකේ හැබැයි exam එකේදී බොහෝ වෙලාවට දෙන්නේ algebraic terms not expressions right එතකොට ඒකත් ඔළුවේ දාගන්න right ඒක එතකොට අපිට ලේසි හරි so what I do මේ වගේ එකක් આવුත් උන් ලේසි ක්‍රමය අද ඉගෙන ගන්න one shot එනවා right 3m squared we expand the numeric value 3 and the algebraic terms separately m squared okay then 8m squared in 8 right aligning to the numeric value 8 and here m squared aligning to the m terms and n terms aligning to n terms. Then next one 6 numeric then m terms then n terms right. Now what I do I take the LCM one shot right. Now see 3 8 6 I go to the highest value 8 and I see whether 3 can convert to 8? No. 6 can convert to 8? No. If yes for both, I stop here. Then out of these 3, LCM is 8. මම බලනවා 3 තියනවාද 8 වලට 6 into තියනවාද 8 වලට no. Right. Now I check the second multiple of 8. What is the second multiple of 8? 16. Then I check 3 is there for 16? No. 6 no. Then I go for the next 8 multiple that is 24. 3 into 8 24 yes 6 into 4 24 yes so for these three figures numeric figures the LCM is 24 right then out of these similar terms I shall take the maximum power so m squared m maximum power is m squared so I take m squared. So here n squared, take the maximum power. So that is n squared. So you have taken the LCM. Right. So what is LCM? 24 m squared n squared. For next time paper, you may have the LCM question. So practice with this method. මේක හරිම ලේසි වර්ධින්නේ right. හොඳට ඒක ඔලුවට දාගන්න. right මොකක්ද අපි කරන ක්‍රමේ numeric ටික line කරනවා numeric similar algebraic terms right ලියා ගන්නවා expand කරලා equal LCM එක හොයනවා. ලේසි ක්‍රමය මොකක්ද? ලොකුම සංඛ්‍යාවද the largest value refer and see whether these two convert to that value. If not, take the next multiple of that. If not, take the next. If not, take the next. Likewise, you search and see the LCM. Then out of the algebraic terms, take the highest power below. And then the product of all these three becomes the LCM. Right. Okay. පැහැදිලි. ඔක අපි ඉස්සරහට ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරමු. papers වල දැන් ඔයාලට තීරි අද මේක බැරි වුණ අයට ලබන සතිය පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් වැඩක් නැහැ. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉගෙනගෙන නැහැ. ගිරව් වගේ බලාගෙන ඉන්නේ. එහෙම වැඩක් නැහැ පුතා. මේක සෙට් වෙන්න නම් අපි මේක හොඳට ඔළුවට concept එක දාගෙන ඊළඟ දවසේ මේ mistakes avoid වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? Okay, now we are moving to the next question. That is set. Right. So we have two sets only. You know that in paper 1, it cannot give 3 sets. Sets 3 ගණන් දෙන්න බෑ first paper එකට. Right. First paper එකට set 2 විතරයි දෙන්න පුළුවන්. Set 3 ගණන් යන්න ඕනේ second paper එකට. පැහැදිලි? Right. එතකොට අපිට grade 10 වලදී තියෙන sets දෙකේවා grade 11 ළමයි දානවා set 3 ගැටලු. එන්නේ grade 11 වලදී තමයි අපිට syllabus එකේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර oral paper එකටත් එහෙමයි. Right. In the first paper, it is known as set to neva in right. So we are now discussing first paper, so we cannot see 3 sets question in the first paper, but paper 2 contains. Okay, right, boys. Here, student who scored, students who scored, right 80 marks. Right here, the universal set. So I mark the regions here, right? The මේ දැනුම පුතා දැන් හදපු අයටත් මේක හොඳටම සෙට් කරගන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියන්නේ මම ගාන හැදුවත් මම දැන් in detail මේක දන්නවා. ආයෙ එතකොට මේ වගේ ගණන් දුන්නාට සහ මේකේ theory ටික හොඳට අපි කියන්නේ හොඳට ගිලා බැස්සොත් ඔළුවට ආයෙ මොනවා අපිට ගණන් වෙනස් කරත් අපිට බැරි වෙන්නේ. අපි concepts ටික හරියට දැනගන්නවා. ඒකයි වෙන්න ඕනේ maths වල. මොන ගාන දුන්නත් Taman confidence එන්නේ. මං confidence මගෙන් ඔයාලා මොන ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇහුවා maths වල. ඒ වගේ ඔයාලා confidence එක තියාගන්න විෂය. එතකොට තමයි අපිට විෂය පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. confidence වට ගන්න එපා. අනේ මට සෙක් ගණන් බෑනේ. අනේ මං අම්මෝ geometry අල්ලන්නේ නැහැනේ. right අම්මෝ ඒව මට බෑ කියන concepts හදාගන්න එපා. අපිට පුළුවන් හැමදේම. right. එතකොට අපිට විෂයත් හැදෙනවා, right? So I will mark the regions, right? Here the language is more important. So we have 4 regions, right? One is here, one subset is students who scored 80 marks, the other one boys, okay, right? So one indicate what? The students who scored 80 marks, but they are not intersecting with boys, so they are not boys. Boys නෙමෙයි නා අනිවාර්යෙන් ෂුවර් කවුද? Girls. අන්න මැච් කරන්න ඕනේ වචනේ. So one, the students who scored 80 marks, but not boys. Not boys means girls. Language kalpana girls. So one represent the girls who scored more than 80 marks. So two means the intersection. They are the boys as well, students who scored 80 marks. So combine the language. Boys who scored 80 marks. Right. Three is they are boys, but they are not intersecting with students who scored 80 marks. So that means they haven't scored 80 marks, but they are boys. එන පැහැදිලිද? මෙයා අපි ඒතකොට කවුරු රැවුවොත් සමහරු කියනවා මේකට only boys කියලා. එතකොට තියෙනවද මේකේ අර අනිත් සෙට් එක ගැන කියවීමක් රීඩින් එකක්? නැහැ. ඒතර අපි කියන්න ඕනේ boys, but they are not having scored 80 marks. Right. Therefore කියන්නේ the ලස්සන වචනේ neither boys nor students who scored 80 marks. Neither boys උත් නෙමෙයි students scored 80 marks උත් නෙමෙයි. එහෙනම් neither boys වෙනුවට දාන්න පුළුවන් කවුද අපිට? boys නෙමෙයි නම් girls. නම් girls and also not having scored 80 marks. අන්න language එක පුතා. ඔය language එක බැරි නම් සෙට් ගන්න හදන්න බෑ second paper එකේ. ඒ නිසා උඩට ඒ regions ටික අඳුර ගන්නවා. අපි දැන් revision සරහා ඔය sets කතා කරමු. දැන් අපි ප්‍රශ්නෙට යමු. Right. So that set indicates what they are asking. Shade the regions girls who scored 80 marks. So the 80 marks should be there, but girls mean shall not be intersect with boys. We are saying that girls and boys are disjoint set. Intersection එකක් එහෙම නැහැ. Hari, they are disjoint set, right? So we discussed they are the mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive. ඔය වචනේ තොලුවට දාගන්න set. So mutually exclusive means no intersection. They are disjoint, right? So the region 1 is the students who scored 80 marks, but they are not boys. That means girls. This is the region, right? Right now we are moving to the question number 8. Right, question number 8, x minus 5. See carefully. Yes, x minus 5 less than negative 2. Right, solve the inequality and represent the solution, right, on the number line. So the solution to be represented on the number line. So first solve the inequality. So solving inequality is similar to the solving equations, but there are some dissimilarities, right? වෙනස්කම් කීපයක් තියෙනවා inequality එකයි equation එකයි. අපි ඉස්සරහ discuss කරමු. Right, what I do here, I bring this minus 5 to the other sides. So I isolate x, right? Then x less than minus 2, minus 5 comes to the other sides as positive 5. So now x less than minus 2 plus 5 means different sign. So subtraction happens. Then 5 subtract to 3, the larger value plus 5. So it's sign of a. So that means x less than 3. Right, so they are asking to indicate that solutions on a number line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and here negative 1, negative 2. So what I do first, I goes to the 3 and I mark a circle, right? But remember, don't shade it. If you shade or bold it, that means that includes the positive 3 answer. But here it doesn't include because x less than 3. So මේක මෙහෙම ආගියු කරන්න මේ පොයින්ට් එකට ගියා බෝලේ යන්දා සර්කල් එකේ ඉන්සර්කල් කරලා then nx less than 3. Less means from the number line less values are the left side, the greater values are the right side. So read the inequality x less than 3. So less than mean left sides. So with the axis with an arrow, right, shade this one. So x less than 3. So that are the solutions, right? So if they ask to mark the integer solutions, so you cannot shade the whole axis. If they ask the integer solution, integer means the whole number, x less than 3, which belongs to that inequality, but the whole number. So what are the whole numbers? Here 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, right, continue further. Okay, so that are the integer solution, but they are generally asking the solution. So you have to shade these all the axes to the left sides, including the arrowhead. Remember that this is the answer. Okay. Okay, now we are moving to the question number 9. See the question number 9. So you have the PDF in my group, right? So you can open the PDF if you have the if you have the questions now. So Amila gave 2/5 of the amount he had to his wife. 2/5. So I will solve this by a figure. So this is the land, right? Amila has, right? Uh, okay. Gave 2/5 amount he had to his wife. Amount, this money, right? 2/5 mean if he separate, if he divide this equally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So imagine he has money whole 1. So normally we are assuming that in the fractions equations we have whole 1, 1. Total 1 we have. So out of that 2/5. So total part 5 to be there. Out of 5, 2 parts, right? 1 part, here 1 part. So totally 5 parts. Out of that 2 parts given to his wife. Make a wife to do now. Right. Then, and he divided the rest equally among his 3 daughters. Right. Then, the rest is what? This is the given part. So, this is the rest. So, that part equally being divided into 3. So, equally divided into 3. බලපු ගමන් පේනවා නේද? මේක සමාන කොටස් තුනකට බෙදිලා. එහෙනම් so this part, so this is the rest. So, equally given to 3 daughters. So that means this is the part that one daughter received, right? One daughter received this part. So that means what is that fraction out of the whole 5 parts? Out of that, this part is 1/5, 1/5. Become sketch again that then our fractions of visceral fractions can have the sketch එකනොත් හදන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් අපි ඔය හැදුවේ sketch එකෙන්. හරිනවනේ. මේක දුන්නු ටික මේක ඉතුරු ටික. ඉතුරු ටික equally divided 3 parts. හරිනේ තුනක් තමයි ඉතුරු parts. ඒතර එක part එකක් කීයද whole figure එකෙන් 1/5, 1/5. Fine? Right. එහෙම නැත්නම් පුතා අනිත් ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. Algebraically we can solve, then numerically we can solve. Here 250 is there. So the remaining take, how to take? Whole part is 1. So the remaining is 1/2/5. Always the simple way 5 subtract 2, 3/5. That is the remaining. Out of that 1/3, because it's equally divided into 3, means multiply with 1/3. Right, then 3 being cancelled out. Then the answer also given as 1/5, 1/5. Right, next part. So now we are moving to the question number 10. Right, geometric equation again. Right, see there. එතකොට තමන්ට question එකක් doubtful නම් හොඳම දේ sketch එකක් අඳින්න. Right, sketch එක ඇසුරින් හිතන්න තීරුම් ගන්න උත්සාහ කරන්න. ගාන අතාරින්න එපා. කිසි විදිහකට ගානකට දිනුමක් දෙන්න එපා පුතා. Right, ගාන පරාජය කරන්න ඕනේ. අපි දිනන්න ඕනේ. කියන්නේ අපි අතාරින්න එපා. සමහර වෙලාවට අපි බැලුමට උත්තර ඉන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි අපි සමහර වෙලාවට සෑහෙන වෙලාවක් කල්පනා කරනවා. එතනින් අතාරින්න එපා. ආයි ඊළඟ දවසේ try කරන්න. මං කිව්වා අපි E level කරන කාලෙත් එහෙම තමයි. maths වල එකපාරම උත්තර එන්නේ නැහැ අපිට. හරිද? අපි සමහර වෙලාවට එක දවසක් කල්පනා කරනවා, දෙකක් කල්පනා කරනවා, ආයෙ තව සතියකින් ඒ ගාන බලනවා. එහෙම තමයි සමහර ගණන් වලට උත්තර අපි හිව්වේ. මං කියන්නේ තේරෙන්නේ අද කාලේ දකින්න දුර්වලම පොයින්ට් එක තමයි ළමයි පොඩ්ඩක් ගාන බැලුවා අනේ මට බෑ ඒක අතාරින්න. එතනින් අර අපි කියන්නේ මේ මොලේ තියෙන මලකඩ තට්ටු කැඩිලා යන්නේ නැහැ. ඇයි අපි ඒක වෙහෙසවන්නේ නැහැ ඔළුව. අපි ඔළුව වෙහෙසවන්නේවත් නැහැ අපිට මේ නිකන් හම්බෙච්ච මොලේ. නේද? right. ඒ කියන්නේ ළමයි ඒකට කැමති නෑ. පොඩ්ඩක් හරි ඔළුව වෙහෙසවන්න. ඇත්තට අපේ කාලේ එහෙමනේ අපි ඇත්තටම ගණන් එක කොට්ටු වෙනවා. බැරි නම් ආය බලනවා. කොහොම හරි තනියම හදනවා. අපි කියන්නේ අර අපිට එන්න නෝන්ඩි වගේ ගාන හදා ගන්න බැරි වුණොත් පැහැදිලිද? එහෙම ෆීලිං එකක් ගන්න තමයි. මට මේක බැරිනොත් වෙන අවුලක් වගේ. ඒ නිසා මම කොහොම හරි මේක හදන්න ඕනේ. අන්න ඒ වගේම තමයි ටැලන්ටඩ් පොලිෂ් වෙන්නේ. තමන්ගේ ටැලන්ට්ස් ටික. ඒ නිසා ඒවා උත්සාහ කරන්න. කිසිම විටක ගාන අතාරින්න එපා. පුළුවන් වෙනකන් ඒක try කරන්න. හරි. එහෙනම් අපි question number 10 වලට යනවා. ඔයාලා sketch එක මේකේ පේනවා. ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ බලන්න sketch එක. Right. AB and here AB and AC, right? Given equal, right? This is the sketch. Right, here value x and here 40 degree and here these two sides are equal, right? So what they asking here also 90. They asking the value of AFD. So here AFD, right? That is x given as x, right? Make xk value the value of x, right? So now you can see to the question. See there, here two sides are equal, right? Two sides equal means, right, their front angles must equal, right? Right, the angle front to that side also equal, right? So this side front angle is this one, front to this side is 40. So that shall be also 40. So mark the angles what we found itself on the diagram, right? The diagram එකේ mark කරන්න ඒව steps වෙනවා ඊට පස්සේ. පැහැදිලිද? ඔයාලා ඒක හොයාගෙන තියෙනවා. Right, then now you can see the triangle here. So this is the triangle we have, right? In this triangle, right, you can see here 40, here 90. So you can find out this angle. How? Because this is a triangle, they add up to 180. So 90 plus 40, 130. So that shall be 50. How the sum of these three becomes 180. Now you can see these x and 50 are vertically opposite angles in this two straight line. When the two straight lines are intersecting, it creates vertically opposite angle. So now you can see x as 50 degree. Okay. So mark the informations in the diagram itself and move forward with these steps. Okay. Right. Now we are moving to the area of the sector, question number 11. Right. Now see the question number 11. So what are the theorems here we discussed? මම කියන පුතා theorems කටපාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Concepts ටික ගන්න. So you know that the sum of these three angles are equal 180. Apart from that, beginning you got that two sides are equal, then front angle to that side are also equal. Then the sum of these interior angles add up to 180. Then vertically opposite angle. That's how you move forward with the question. Right. Right. Okay, question number 11 now we are dealing, right? So this is similar to the perimeter questions. Okay. Right. The area of the sector, right? Man sectors තුනයි කිව්වේ first paper එකට එන මොනවාද sectors තුන ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි මේක 45 degrees there and here 7 centimeter. Okay, that is the radius. So I mentioned that only 3 sectors in the first paper. What are they? 180 sector, 90 sector and 45 sector. The angles obtained at the center. Okay, now here the sector with 45 degree, but previously we discussed the arc length or the circumference, now the area. So remember that for the area, we have the general formula A equal 5r squared. That is the area of full circle. Okay, full circle, if the radius is r, the area gives you 5r squared. If I take half of that, that means a semicircle. right? The angle subtended that the center is 180. So general formula, remember 5r square. This is half of that. So bring the half to the front. Okay. Then if I take the 1/4 of the sector, that gives you the 90 degree, right? This is the half of this. Then the general area, the whole area, 5r squared, that is 1/4. 1/4 5r squared. Okay. Then if I take 45 degree, tell me the area 1/8 into 5r squared. On the formula sticker. Right. So the area ටිකක් දැන් ඉගෙන ගත්තා ඔයාලා. මොනවාද formula ටික? Full circle 5r squared, semicircle 1/2 5r squared. Here the 1/4 5r squared. If it is 45 degree, 1/8 5r squared. General formula 5r squared as per the sector size. Right. It gives you either 1/2, 1/4 or 1/8 fractions. Remember that. So only that in the first paper. Correct. So then sector ටිකක් set. Right. ඔය ටික තමයි first paper එකට එන්නේ. ඒතකොට area එක આવොත් 5r squared, circumference එක આવොත් 25r. Right. Okay. Fine. Now we are moving to the next part. So what they ask in the area. So I applied 185r squared. So area equal 180 into 522 upon into r squared. R is 7 squared, 7 centimeter into 7 centimeter. Now simplify 7171 to 4 to 11. So 11 into 7, 77 upon 4 square centimeter. You can write it as a decimal, right? Make a decimal application. For 7, 1, for 37, 36, 1 remaining, for 10 to 5 square centimeter, right? So 19.25 square centimeter, that is the area of this sector. Remember the formula 180 into 5r squared. Keep in your mind for 45 sector 180 into 5r squared. If it is arc length, they are asking this length, right? What is the formula of similar 180 there, but general formula of circumference is 25r, right? Okay, that is fine. But now we are moving to the question number 12. This is being discussed. A and B are two mutually exclusive events. Write sample space S, P given, and find the PB. Right. Right. So you know that what are the mutually exclusive events? On the පුතා අල්ලගන්න මේක exam එකේදී අහනවා ගොඩාක් ළමයින්ට ඒක බෑ. Mutually exclusive events means there are, imagine two events A and B. So A intersection B is a null set, right? Null set means 0 elements, right? 0, intersection 0. Okay, so no intersections, like they are disjoint set, right? They are disjoint set. If I indicate by a Venn diagram A and B, this is the indication, right? They are intersection 0. So what is the wording for intersection 0? Mutually exclusive event. Remember that. Tell me again. So if you do not know the wording, mutual exclusive means A intersection B 0. They are disjoint set, right? Similarly like this, right? Okay. What are the example for the mutual exclusive events? Like I said, the boys and girls, right? Don't tell me that there are some intersection. No intersections, boys and girls. Then odd numbers and even numbers, right? They are not intersecting each other, right? So likewise, they are the mutually exclusive event. Okay, right. Next one. So what they are saying that A union B. So we have this formula, probability of A union B equal probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Right. Remember that formula for the O-level maths. Tell everyone, if you do not know, you can write down it. P A union B equal PA plus PB minus PA intersection B. But they are saying that this is mutually exclusive event. So that means this part goes to 0. no intersections there. So A union A intersection B becomes 0, right? That is equal to 0. Then the formula being deduced how A union B equal PA plus PB because the intersection becomes 0. So for mutual exclusive events, you can remember this formula, but the general formula is this one. If they are mutually exclusive, only that is deduced to this formula. Okay. Now you can substitute the given things for the second formula for the events which are mutually exclusive. A union B given as 0.77, PA given as 0.4 plus PB they are asking. Now subject, this is like a simple equation. Subject PB equal 0.77, subtract 0.40, then 743, then 0.37. So that is the answer for question number 12. Right. May points liya gana. This is the general formula for the probability. This is been asked in the exam, and this is for the events mutually exclusive. Then what you did, I substitute the given information and subjected PB. Okay. Now we are moving to the next question. The square root of a number to the nearest first approximation is 4.8. Find the number, right? So now the question is bit differ because the square root given and they are asking the value of the whole number. So square root of a particular number, if we think that the number is x, the root of x equal now, square root of x equal now 4.8. So how to get subject x, right? This is the concept behind that. So the square root of a given number, we do not know that number, they are asking that number equal to 4.8. They are asking which number is that x. So to eliminate the square root, I shall take the square of both sides, right? Then 4.8 square. Right, then right square and the square root being cancelled, so x equal 4.8 right squared. The square root means half power and 2 being cancelled as x. Now x equal 4.8 square. Okay, now how to find the 4.8 square? Just 4.8 multiply with 4.8. 8 into 8 64, 6 remaining, 8 into 4 32 plus 6 38. So 4 into 8 32, 3 is there, 4 into 4 16 plus 3 19, then 4 0 13 2. So that gives you 23.04. So that closer to 23. So you can give the whole number is 23. So it shall be around 23. So that is the answer. Right. Number right. Now we are moving to the question number 14. Tell everyone. So is it clear the board to you? In fine, right? Right. Now I am moving to the next question, right? So under the theories, we will discuss in future the informations further. Right now we have, this is the question number 14 in the paper I am discussing. So here we have a triangle, right? And here we have two sides. And here these two be equal and these two are also equal. Right. So what they are saying, AB equal AC, that is fine. ABC and here PQ. So they are asking AB equal AC and BP equal CQ. Right. Name two pair of congruent triangles there. Right. Congruent. So when these two sides equal, remember that the front to that side, this is the angle, and front to this side is this is the angle, right? These two angles are equal. Now checking this triangle ABP and right AQC triangles, the one side equal, and angle equal, and these two sides also equal. So with the two sides and angle, what is the case refer? Angle, right side, sorry, side, angle, side, right. See here, the angle is the intermediate angle, right? Intermediate angle, that means between two sides the angle is located. So they are here, two sides are there, angle is in between that. Here the angle is in between that. If that only, right, we can refer to the side angle side, right? The angle shall be the in between the two sides. So we can now say that ABP congruent, triangle congruent with AQC triangle, which case side angle side. Then further you can see that ABQ triangle and APC triangle, the same things. These two sides belong to that triangle as well. Angle belongs to that two triangle. But here these sides contain the similar things plus PQ. Here QC plus PQ. So for both PQ is common as well. These two parts are also equal. It is given. So now you can see that APQ triangle congruent with APC triangle. So the similar case, side angle side, right? Because they are asking two couple of triangles. Couples they are kahanawa. So name two pair of congruent triangles. So that are the answers. So you can see these are the angles. Similar case is referred for both. Right. You can note it down. Right, now we are moving to the next question. We go to that. Right, question is simplifying the algebraic fractions. That is very easy question. See the question. Right, remember that in algebraic fraction simplifications, right, you know that how the deep of the question, make a deep 3 upon x minus 1 upon 2x. See there, the algebraic addition or the subtraction, they gives you, may the denominators differ, but the thing is, one denominator shall can be converted to the other. Right? එකක් අනික බවට හැරවෙන එකක් තමයි දෙන්නේ. For an example, here if we cannot convert to the other side, right, it's difficult, right? මෙන්න මේ දෙකම convert කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැති එකක් තමයි අපිට බොහෝ වෙලාවට exam එකේදී එන්නේ, right? So here denominator x and here denominator 2x. So what we can do, make the same denominator, x is there, so we have to bring 2 to there. So we write equivalent fractions by multiplying 2 both numerator and denominator. So now 2 into 3, 6 upon 2x minus 1 upon 2x. Now the denominator same, keep the same denominator, 6 subtract 1, 5. So 5 upon 2x. So the concepts are similar, whatever the numerical or algebraic, the algebraic fraction now take a concept, the numerical fractions our concept fractions now become similar. Fractions add කරන්න subtract කරන්න තියෙන logic එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. The addition or subtractions, they are denominator must equal. So either they are algebraical or numeric values, right? The logic is logic, right? So what you have to remember, the both denominator must equal. Right, denominator equal karagana, writing equivalent fractions. Okay. Right, next one, question number 16. Find the value of A according to the information given in the figure. Right. Right. Now see here, we have a parallelogram puta, right? So they are measuring that this is parallelogram, or we can identify it parallelogram because the opposite sides are parallel. Right, so they are not just saying that this is a parallelogram, but by looking into the diagram, we can understand this is a parallelogram. What is the case? Because opposites, two couples, right, are parallel, right? That is enough. So here 65 is there. Now see the value. So you have to remember the feature of the parallelogram. What are the features? They are opposite angles are equal. So A is opposite to this angle. So if this is A, this is also A. Right. Now you know that because how you took it, because this is the parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, then opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. So AA, now you can see this is a straight line. The angles around the straight line is add up to 180. So you can see that A plus 65 equal 180. Now you can subject A. So A equal 180 subtract 65. So that gives you 5, then 1, right? 1. So what is the answer? Equal 115. So that is the answer. So basically you can mark in the diagram itself, this is A, this is A. Now you can add up these two and equal to 180. Then A you can take as 115. Okay, right. So feature of, get used to familiar with the feature of parallelogram. Okay. So what are the other feature of parallelogram? Opposite sides are parallel, right? That is how we define a parallelogram. Any quadrilaterals having opposite sides are parallel, it is a parallelogram. So these are the feature of the parallelogram. The opposite angles are equal. This angle equal this angle, right? This equal this angle, right? And the opposite sides are equal in length, right? This side equal this side equal this side, and the diagonals are bisected each other, right? So these are some properties. Other than that, the area of the parallelogram also bisected by the diagonal, right? Right. Next one, fill in the blanks of the following expressions. So see this one. This is a binomial expansion. So 2a plus, right, squared given as 4a squared plus, right, plus 9, right, fill in the blanks. So you know that this is a binomial expansion, right, having two terms and power to the 2. So the general format, right, on the 3 plus flower power to the 2, make expansion එක මතක් කරගමු. ගහක් තියෙනවා මලක් තියෙනවා, right, plus එකක් තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද මේක expansion එක. කියමු බලන්න. Right, මුලින්ම ඉන්න terms දෙක, identify the terms flower and the tree, right? So the concept is tree squared, first term is squared, right, plus, if it is plus, here also plus, 2 into the product of the terms, 2 into the product. Product means flower into tree into 2, plus the second term is squared. Second term is flower, that is squares. So flower is square, right? So that is the logic, right? Remember that concept. Whatever the terms can be given instead of tree and flower, these will not be in the exam, right? That is the concept. Okay, right? First term is squared plus 2 into the product of the terms plus the second term is square. If it is negative, it becomes the middle term negative, right? Middle terms negative, but other two terms also positive, right? Okay. Now remember that concept to the question. Now first term is squared. Be careful. First terms means, right, both 2a. Then that is square means 2 is squared as well a squared. So 2 is squared, 4a squared, a squared. Then this term is square is the last one, 9. 9 is this term is squared. That means 3 squared shall be 9. So which term shall be there as giving the square of it as 9? That shall be 3. Okay. Now that's fine. But we compare these two. Now take the middle term. You know how to do it. 2 into the product of these two terms. The product of these two terms, what? 3 into 2a means 6a, twice of that. 6a into 2, that is 12a. Right. මේ දෙකේ product එකේ දෙගුණය. 3 into 2, 6a, into 2, 12a is their midterm. Okay. Right. So that is the expansion. Remember, if you do not know the binomial expansion, remember in that way, first term is squared. If it is the plus, plus. If it is minus, minus. 2 into product of the terms plus the second term is square. Right. Now we are moving to the question number 18. That is from the angle of elevation and angle of depression under grade 10 syllabus. Right. So remember, if I see this is if I stand in here, my eye level is always horizontal. If I turn to any directions, right, my eye level is horizontal. In this mathematics, we consider always our eye level, right? The eye level is horizontal. If I look into a upward position, right, from my eye level, then I have to rotate my eye to the this direction, means to the upward. That means the angle of elevation, right? So remember these theories. So this is my eye. We consider the eye level always horizontal, right? So when I see an object, right, on top of my eye level, right, as P, so I have to rotate my eye as joining the line P. So that is called the vision line. So this is vision line, and this is my eye level. So when the vision line is above the eye level, that creates an angle of elevation. That theta gives you the angle of elevation. If I look into a position below the eye level like this, if I look, this is my eye level, I look bottom, that means my eye goes downwards from the eye level, that creates an angle of depression. This is alpha. I mentioned that is angle of depression, right? So remember the birth conditions, because in some exam questions we have seen that to mark the angle of elevation as well angle of depression. Remember, when I look into above position, it creates angle of elevation, and when look downwards, it creates angle of depression, right? So now we move to the question. Make right? So if I look from a point P to my eye, if anyone look here towards me, then his eye level is this, right? So that's the eye level. Then he look downwards. So then if the eye level goes, if the vision line goes to the downward, then depression there. Now you can see this elevation is magnitudely same to this depression, because this theta equals this theta magnitude, but the two wordings are different. When I see there, that depression, but when I see from here, that is top part, that is elevation. But the value is similar because these two are alternate angles. Right. Concept හරියටම ඉගෙන ගන්න පුතා වර්ධින්නේ නැහැ maths එතකොට. හරි? Right. Right. Now we are moving to the question number 18 there. So the sketch is drawn. These are some similar to some O-level based questions, right? There C, D, and here B, here A, and here the horizontal. So what they are asking, the angle of elevation of A from C, of A from C. So from C means they are looking at C. So the eye level is this one. So A and C to be connected, that is done. So to see A, I to be rotated onto this direction, that is mean angle of elevation. So this is the angle of elevation. You have to mark this angle of elevation when looking upward position, right? Then angle of depression D, depression of D from A, starting from A. So that is the eye level, depression is there. So this is, if I mark here theta, here alpha, this is the angle of depression. Angle of depression. So you have to label these two things, angle of elevation and angle of depression. Okay, right. Now we are moving to the next part, next question. So in future questions, we may have this type of questions, angle of elevation and angle of depressions. පැහැදිලිද? theory part එකත් අල්ල ගන්න. එතකොට ආයේ වරදින්නේ නැහැ පුතා. මම ඒකයි කිව්වේ මේක නිකන් ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තරේ දුන්නා නම් මට විනාඩි 10ක්වත් යන්නේ නැහැ මේ සෙෂන් එකට. හැබැයි බලන්න ඒක අද ඉවර වෙලා ඔයාලම හිතලා බලන්න. මොනවද අපි අද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ ටික highlight කරගන්න. Right. අද නින්දට යන්න කලින් බලන්න මම මොනවද අද දවසේ මැත්ස් වලට ගේම් කරගත් රයිට් ඒ ටික ආයේ නැවත මෙනෙහි කරන්න. අපි මතක් කරන්න තමයි අපිට මේ දේවල් හොඳට නැවත අපි ඔළුව පොලිෂ් වෙන්නේ. මැත්ස් වල මතක් කර ඉඳලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. ඒවා මතක් කරලා මැත්ස් වල යෙදෙන්න ඕනි, ගණන් හදන්න ඕනි. එච්චරයි තියෙන්නේ මේක. රයිට්. තීරි හොඳට දාගෙන විවිධ ගණන් වල යෙදෙන්න. අපි කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම මැත්ස් ගත්තාම කවුරු මොනවා කිව්වත් මොන තාරකින් ආවත් මැත්ස් වල concepts දාගෙන ගණන් හදන්න ඕනේ පුතා. concept දාගෙන හිටියටත් අපිට බෑ මැත්ස් පුළුවන් වෙන්න. කෙනෙක් මැත්ස් පුළුවන්ද කියනවා නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන් එයා මැත්ස් හදනවා. එහෙම නැති අය ඉන්නේ අර ලංකාවේ හා ලෝකෙ ඉන්නේ ඉතා සීමිත ප්‍රමාණයක්. අපි කියන්නේ අර සුපර් මීටර්ස් කියලා. සුපිරි මීටර්ස් දෙනාට සාමාන්‍ය තීරය අල්ලගෙන හිටියත් ඇති ගණන් දැක්කහම එන හැබැයි බහුතරයක් දෙනයි සුපිරි මීටර්ස් ගණනේ නෙමෙයි ඉන්නේ. එන අපිට මේක ගොඩ යන්න නම් අපි ගණන් හදන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වගේ වැඩවල යෙදෙන්න ඕනේ. විවිධ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එක ගන්න ඕනේ. දැන් අපි කියන්නේ ඇයි විරාට් කොහ්ලිලා ටෙන්ඩුල්කර්ලා ඔච්චර බෝල ගානක් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්නේ ක්‍රිකට් ගහන්න බැරි කමටද? නෑ පුළුවන්. හේතුව තමයි ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එක ගන්න යන්නේ. එතකොට අර සාමාන්‍යයෙන් බෝලේ දැක්කත් බෝලේ අතින් ගිලිනකොටම ෂොට් එකට යනවා ඉබි. ඒ වගේ තමයි. රයිට් අපිටත් මැත්ස් ඒ වගේ මට්ටමකට අපි හුරු වුණොත් අපිටත් ඒ තරම් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එකක් වෙනවා. ගණන් දැක්කහම අපිට ක්‍රමවේද එකපාර පේනවා ගාන තුල. ඒක අපි කියන්නේ පේපර්ස් කරන්න ඕනේ. රයිට් නිකන් රිවිෂන් බේස් පේපර්ස් වලට යන්න ඕනේ. කොච්චර අපි තීරි ඉගෙන ගත්තත් මේක ගොඩ ගන්න බෑ පුතා ප්‍රැක්ටිස් එක නැතුව මැත්ස් වලත් ඒකම තමයි. ඒ නිසා හරියට ක්ලාස් එකේ වැඩ දී කරගෙන ගියොත් හොඳ කාලයක් තියෙනවා ඔයාලට මේක ගොඩ ගා ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි එහෙනම් දැන් අපි ඊළඟ ගානට යමු question number 19. ගන්න බලන්න ගාන. Right, question number 19. Right, so that is evaluate using fraction. So we have 22 upon 7, right, into 20, right, subtract 22 upon 7 into 6, right. So in factorizing we have, right, two methods. Right, what are the methods we have? There are three methods. First one, common factors. මෙන්න මේ order එකටමයි අපි යන්න ඕනේ. Common factors බලන්න ඕනේ factorizing ගන්න අවහම. Right? Second method, second way, the difference of squares. Difference of squares. If that doesn't pass, then check whether it is a trinomial quadratic expressions. Trinomial quadratic expressions. දුන්න exam එකේදී factorize ගාන දුන්නාම මේ order එකටමයි හිතන්නේ. Whether it is having common factors, if that only, if not only we move to the difference of square, if not only we check whether it is a trinomial quadratic expression, right? මේ තුනේම mix වෙනයක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, mix එකක් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒතර common factors නොගෙන difference of square වලට යන්න එපා. Right? Common factors තියෙනවදම බලන්න ඕනේ. ඒක නැති වුණොත් මෙතෙන්ට හිතන්න. ඒක නැති වුණොත් මෙතෙන්ට යන්න. Right. So now you know that what is the common factor, common things in that equations. You can see 22 upon 7 is common for both. So we bring 22 upon 7 as a common factor out of the bracket. Then here 20 is there, subtract, this is taken out, this is taken out, here subtract, here 6 is there. So now what happened? 22 upon 7 into 20 subtract 6, it gives you 14. Now you know the simplification 7 1 7 2. So 2 into 22, that gives you 44. So the answer is 44. Right? Right, 44 තමයි answer එක දැක්කනේ common factors ගත්තා. So automatically answer එක අපිට එනවා. Right, now we are moving to the question number 20. See there. Right, tell me the order. Right, difference of common factors, then the difference of its pairs, lastly the trinomial quadratic expressions. බලන්න පුතා ඔයාලගේ ස්කූල්ස් ටික මට දාගෙන යන්න බලන්න ඔයාලා කොයි කොයි ස්කෝලේද ඉන්නේ කියලා. කතා කරාට ඔයාලා කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ සාමාන්‍ය ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් වල ළමයි. මට මැසේජ් එකක් දානකො පර්සනලි මොන ඉස්කෝලේදී ඉන්නවාලා කියලා මට දැන් බලා ගන්න කම්බිනේෂන් එක. මේ chat එකට දාන්න. කලින් ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් වලට ලයිසිම් ඉස්කෝලේම ළමයි ගොඩාක් සම්බන්ධ වුණා රත්නපුර. හැම දිනාටම වගේ ඊ පාසස් ආවගේ පාර කලින් පාර කොරෝනා තිබුණු කාලේ තිබුණු ඔන්ලයින් ක්ලාස් එකට right. පුතා ඔයාලගේ දැන් අර ලැන්ග්වේජ් එක සිංහල මොනවත්ම තේරෙන්නේ නැති අය ඉන්නවනම් මට කියන්න මම එහෙමවත් කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් අර සමහර ළමයින්ට එහෙම ඉන්න පුළුවන් මම නිකන් අර සමහර ඒවා අර ඉංග්‍රීසි වලින්ම පැහැදිලි නොවේ කියලා සමහර වෙලාවට ඉංග්‍රීසි ටර්ම්ස් කීපයක් සිංහල ටර්ම්ස් කීපයක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. එහෙම ඒවත් ගැටලු තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න right. හරි. හොඳයි. එතකොට හොඳයි හැම පැත්තෙම ළමයි ඉන්නවා කොළඹින් රත්නපුරෙන් right. අපි හොඳ වැඩක් කරමු පුතා. ඒ කියන්නේ මම ඇත්තටම ඔයාලට හොඳම chance එකකින් වැඩේ ගොඩ දා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මම ඒ කියන්නේ හැබැයි මේක තමන් හිතට එකඟව තමනුත් වැඩි කරන්න ඕන. ඒ පේපර් එකක් දුන්නාම මේක කරන්න ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න right. තියෙන doubts අහන්න chat එකේ දාන්න. දාලා මේ කර මම කියන්නේ physically වගේ මම දැන් මම මේ ගෙදරත් ස්ටුඩියෝ එක වගේ හදලා තියෙන්නේ. මම හිතන්නේ අවුලක් නෑ ඔයාලට. ස්ට්‍රීමින් එකෙත් මේ කනෙක්ෂන් එකේ පොඩි ගැටලුවක් තියෙනවා. මේ ඒ ඇරෙන්න වෙන මේ සෙටප් එකේ අවුලක් නැහැ. ඉතින් හරියට ෆිසිකලි ක්ලාස් එකක් වගේ මම මොනිටර් කරනවා ඉස්සරහට. දැන් මම නම් ටිකක් තියෙනවා. මේ එහෙම හරියට වැඩ ටික කරගෙන යමු. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම ලොකු chance එකක්. හොඳට සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක හරියට ඉගෙනගෙන පේපර්ස් කරනවා කියන ඔයාලා මොන තීරි පන්තියට ගියත් ගැටලුවක් නැහැ පුතා. මේ පේපර් ක්ලාස් එක කරා මම අර ගිය පාර කරා ළමයින්ට Q2000 කියලා වැඩසටහනක්. Q2000 ප්‍රශ්න 2000ක් කෙටි ප්‍රශ්න මම සාකච්ඡා කරලා යවුවා. පේපර්ස් වලට අමතරව ඒ පාර ගිහපු ළමයින්ට right. ඒකෙන් මගේ රත්නපුරේ ලයිස්ට්‍රීම් කොලෙජ් කියන ගොඩාක් ළමයි සම්බන්ධ වුණා. ඒකටම වගේ ඒ පාසස් තිබුණා. යට අවුරුද්දේ ළමයි සම්බන්ධ වුණේ. අවසාන අවුරුද්දේ මම සෙට් වුණේ. කොහොම හරි වැඩේ ගොඩ දාගත්තා. හරි. ඔයාලත් මම කියන ආසාවෙන් ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, ගැටලු තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම තමයි ඉතින් අපේ ලයිෆ් එකනේ. හැබැයි ඒක හරියට මැනේජ් කරගෙන වැඩේ ගොඩ දැම්මොත් ගොඩ යන්නම පුළුවන්. මම කියන්නේ solid එකක් maths වලට ගන්න. solid එකක්. හොඳ එකක්. Right. In a question number 20, we are now discussing. Right. This is also under the geometric equations. You can see here, this is the center O, and here two angles are there. Right. See the equations now. So here this is being marked as X, and this is 20. Right. This is 30. Right. Remember that everyone, when a geometric equations is given, right, first mark all the informations in the diagram and the informations that you can see other than the information given. So what I can see, this is the center, and then these two are radius as well. This is also radius. So mark these informations in this way. Mark right now you can see these two sides are equal, so the front angle to that side are also equal. If this is 20, this is 20, right? Mark it on the diagram. These two radius, then this is 30, this is 30, so that shall be 30, right? So that is the step of the equations. The marks will be given to that steps. Okay, now you can see this is the sector by this chord being segregated to two sector, major sector and minor sector. So in the major sector, you can see this is the angles obtained in the center, and from the same two terminals, the angles obtained on the circumference on the sector. So that angle is 30 plus 20, that is 50. So the center angle is twice of that, twice of the angles obtained on the circumference of the sector. So the center angle is twice of that. So x equal twice of 50, that means 100. Right, so that's the argument. So x equal twice of 50, that is means 100. right? පැහැදිලිද? So exam එකේදී මේවා mark කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ question එකේ making twice මේක, right? X equal 100. පැහැදිලි? right? මම හිතන්නේ theorem එක පැහැදිලි. right? grade 10 වල the angles of this circle කියන පාඩමේ අර්ථේ තියෙන theorem එකක් මේක. ඒතර සමහර ළමයින්ට ඕක පැටලෙනවා, right? This twice, so this is twice. So you can see here the amount of angle is this much. But when it comes to here, the angle is bigger than that. So this is the bigger one. So always the angle at the center is the bigger one, not on the circumference or the sector. Right? බලුවල්මට තියෙනවා මේක කුඩායි මේක ලොකු යාත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේක වගේ දෙකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ මේක. right? එහෙම අපිට යමක් පැටලෙනකොට මතක තියාගන්න. සමහරවල් එක්සෑම් එකට ගිහිල්ලා මේක වගේ දෙකක් කියලා මෙතන දානවා. වැරදි. ඒක අර විදිහටම ෆීලින් එක ගන්න. right? Right, now we are moving to the next question, right? Question number 21, right? Right, so I will teach you, there are two types of data called the continuous data and the discrete data. So what are the two names? So you may know that things, but you may not know. Tell me the two wordings. දැන් පුතා මේ first sessions කියන්නේ මාසයක් විතර යනකම් ටිකක් අපි ඔහොම in detail ගියාට පස්සේ ඔයාලට දැන් මේ concept පුරු වුණාට පස්සේ ආයෙ මම in detail මේව විස්තර කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. කෙලින්ම මට ගණන් වලට යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට ඔයාලා අවසාන කාලේ වෙනකොට speed එක සාමාන්‍ය පැය අපි පැය දෙකට full paper එකක්ම discuss කරලා තවත් time එක ඉතුරු වෙනවා. නමුත් මුලින් ඔයාලව මේ මට්ටමට හුරු කරවන්න ඕනේ. right? ඒතර අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලාම part A වලට යනවා. questions 25 6 ටිකක් යනවා. ඊට part B questions 5 ටිකක් යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ second paper එකේ part A questions යනවා, part B questions යනවා. ඕක අපි schedule එකේ step by steps ඔයාලව ඉස්සරහට paper එක through ගෙනියනවා. හරි? දැන් අපි ඊළඟ question එකට යමු. question number 21. So we have two types of data. What are they? The continuous data and continuous data. The other one, discrete data. Right. මේ වචනේම තේරුම් ගන්න continuous. ඔතනින් තමයි මම තේරුම් ගන්නේ. but ඒ විදිහට අල්ලගන්න. continuous කියන්නේ continuing. right. no any spaces there. හරියට නිකන් ගඟක් ගලාගෙන යනවා වගේ, river එකක් යනවා වගේ. අතරමැද අහුවෙන්නේ නැහැ river එක යන අතරේ වතුර නැතුව ආයේ එහා පැත්තෙන් පටන් ගන්න නෑනේ ගඟ. right. මෙහෙම ගිහිල්ලා මෙතන ගඟ නෑ, මෙහෙම යන්නේ නෑනේ, මෙතන මොකවත් නැතුව. right. දිගටම යනවා, continuously යනවා මෙහෙම. But in discrete data, it's not running like continuously. The continuous meanings, right? Remember, by the meaning I am taking the answer. Continuous meaning, any value as the data we can take. We can take any value as the data. Right. For an example, any decimal value, fractional value, right? Any value we can take as the continuous data. But discrete data contains only the whole numbers, right? For an example, if I take the data number of family members in a family, right? We cannot say that 2.5 and 2.5, they are whole number. Number of students in a classroom, they are whole numbers, right? We cannot say that 2.5, right? Or 30.2, right? So discrete data consists with only the whole number data, right? But the continuous means continuing, right? We can take any value. It may contain either decimals, fractions, or any value. Right. For an example, if we take the height of the student, if we take the weight of the students, so if we take the length between two cities, right, it may be a decimal, but some data contains only the whole numbers. They are called the discrete data. That is the answer, right? And discrete means taking whole number data only, but here any value it can take. Now with the knowledge education. Right, first one, they are underlined the discrete data. The weight of vegetable brought to a shop in 10 days. Wait, it can be either decimal or the fraction, not exactly kilogram whole numbers, 10 kilo, 12 kilo, for 15 kilo, not such way. Maybe having 12.5, 12.8, right, 19.7, whatever. Then the number of members in for the family can be a whole number only. So that is discrete data. So the part 2 is the answer, number 2. Then the data collected about weight height. Weight height may be either decimal or the fraction mode. So they are the continuous data. So first and third, the continuous data. Second is only the discrete data. Remember. Okay. Third අල්ලගන්න ආයේ කවමදාකවත් continuous data discrete data අමතක කරන්න එපා. සමහර ළමයි ඉන්න maths වලට හරි දක්ෂයි. මම දැකලා තියෙනවා මගේ paper class හරහා ඔය equation එක fail වෙච්ච ළමයි. මොකද්ද discrete data continuous data දන්නේ නැති අය. හරි? Right. Now we are moving to the next question, right? Question number, now we are at the last part of the paper. 22, put correct in front of the feature that are common to both square and rectangle, and put cross mark in front of feature which are not common to both square and rectangle. So I drew, this is the square, so square, and I drew a rectangle, right? This is a rectangle. Okay. Right, first feature, angles at vertices are right angle. For both we check. Yes, angle at vertices are right angle. Here also right angle. That is fine. Okay. Now the next question. So that first part is true for both. Right? That true for both. The next one, the diagonal bisect each other perpendicularly. So here and here, right? We can say that in square, the diagonals are bisected each other, right? 90 degrees in square. So that is okay, right? Square එකේ හිම වෙනවා, right? මොකද මෙතන ගත්තාම මෙයා 45 වෙනවා, මෙතන ගත්තාම මෙයා 45 වෙනවා, මෙයා 90 වෙනවා, right? But in square, it is not all the time, right? Here it is, you can see in the diagram itself, it is an obtuse angle, not 90 degree, right? It may be varied in a rectangle. So it is not common for both square and rectangle. So that is incorrect, right? So the next question, diagonals are equal in length. So you can see here the diagonals, two diagonals are in length, right, in square. As well, here also the diagonals are equal in length, right? Here diagonal equal. This diagonal equal, right? The square rectangle එක diagonals දෙක equal. නිකන් Pythagoras theorem එකේ හිතුවත් මේ sides දෙකම නෙතෙන්ට relate වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ length එකමයි මේ පැත්තට relate වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ length එකමයි මේ පැත්තට relate වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ දෙන්න diagonals දෙක equal වෙනවා length එකෙන්, right, in both, right? So the last part also correct for both rectangle and square, right? Okay, that. Okay, now we are moving to the question number 23, right? So the volume equations, in volume equations, it says that the volume of prism means it is a solid contains a uniform cross sections. So in word we can see two types of solid, having uniform cross sections and not having uniform cross sections. For the solids having uniform cross sections, we have only general formula for volume. What is that? Volume equal uniform cross section area into length or the height, right? But එකම එක formula එකයි තියෙන uniform cross sections තියෙන ලෝකේ තියෙන ඕනම solid එකකට to find their volume. How? The uniform cross sectional area into the length. So in prism also contain uniform cross section, which is the cross section. The triangle is the cross section, right? So it is continuing. If I cut in that way, we can also see similar triangular shapes. That is what we are saying, uniform cross section, right? So that is the uniform cross section. That area to be taken and multiplied with the length. So we take that uniform cross sectional area. So you can see the dimensions there. uniform cross section is a right angle triangle. So this is 3 centimeter, this is 4 centimeter, and this is 6 centimeter. So they are saying that the volume given 36. So we write the formula for the volume given now 36 equal the uniform cross-sectional area. Area is the right angle triangle area that gives you half into base into height. 3 into 4 into the length, continuing length, that is x. Right now you can see 2, 1, 2, 2. Then 36 equal 3 into 2, 6, x there. Right, 6x equal 36. Now subject x divide by 6 both sides. So 6 being cancelled. Then 36 divided by 6. Then mean x equals 6 centimeter. So that is the length of the prism. Got it? Right. So that is how you deal with the equations. So remember one formula for the solids having uniform cross section, volume equal cross sectional area into the length. Right. Here the cross section is triangle area into the length. This is how you deal with the equations. Volume equal half into the cross sectional area into the length. Right. Then you subjected x. Right. Now we are moving to the question number 24. Right. Regarding the geometric equations. Right. The formula එකක් මතක තියාගන්න uniform cross sectional area into the length. ඔය හැම solid එකක්ම either cube, cuboid or the cylinder, right? These are the solids having uniform cross sections. They are also built up with this general formula. That's how they have specific formula, but the general formula they have built up is this one: the volume equal uniform cross section into the length. Right now we have the circle. 24th question. We are now in the 24th questions. Right. This is the circle and this is the center. So this is the chord given. A, B is the chord, and here center is connected to the midpoint of the chord. So you know that theorem, right? Right. Once you look into the diagram, see there. So this is the center and this is the chord. So it is drawn a line from the center to the midpoint of the chord. The theorem says if you connect the center with the midpoint of the chord, that will be perpendicular to the chord. This is perpendicular. That's the theorem says. If we draw the to the chord from the center, that is perpendicular. Right now it is. Now we look into the O is the center of the following circle, is the midpoint AB. OC equal 5. So mark this is 5 centimeter and the radius of the circle is 13. Mark the radius there. It is not marked here. We draw, we connect OA as the radius, that is 13 centimeter. So they are asking the length of the chord AB. Right. Prior to find the chord AB, we can right. So prior to, so I think you can everyone hear me, right? Prior to find the chord, right, we will find the half of that AX. So you can see a right angle triangle. See the Aputa, right? This is a right angle triangle. So this is the radius 13 centimeter. I enlarge this diagram here 90 degree and here 5 centimeter. This is AX, right? So how to find the x? Using the Pythagoras theorem, I find this is x. Right now, this is the front side to the 90 degree, that is 13. So I can write 13 squared equal, hypotenuse squared equal, x squared plus 5 squared. Right, then I can write here 169 equal x squared plus 25. Then subject x squared, 169 subtract 25. Now x squared equal 144. Now get the square root of both sides. Then x equal plus or minus square root 144. Right? X equal plus or minus 12 centimeter. But we know that this is a length, so it cannot be negative. So we replace the negative value and we disregard the negative. value and we put plus 12 centimeters such that x is greater than 0. Right. So x is 12 centimeter. X means this part. So here it is bisected. So this is 12 part. So then whole AB chord is 2 times of 12. That is 24 centimeter. So it equal 24 centimeter. Right. එතකොට exam එකේදී first paper එකේදී එන Pythagoras triples ටික මම කියනවා මේ ටික note කරගන්න මොනවද එන Pythagoras triple ටික 3 4 5 right ඒ කියන්නේ අපි දැක්කොත් මේක hypotenuse is the longest side that is 5 the other two sides 3 4 then right then 6 8 10 right then 5 12 13 right so these are the major Pythagoras triples that we can see in the O-level paper. Then make බලන්නකො 13 5 දැක්කා. එහෙනම් මේ triple එක 13 5 නම් balance එක 12. So balance is 12. So if it is 6 10 the other one is 8. If it is 4 5 the other one is 3. So these are the major popular Pythagoras triples in O-level paper. Remember that 3 4 5 6 8 10 and 5 12 13. Right. So that applies the Pythagoras theorem as well as when it connected to the chord is the connected to the midpoint of the chord, then it is perpendicular to the chord. Right now we are in the 25 questions. Right, see to the last question now. Question number 25. Right, this is coming under the locus question. So we have 4 locus in the O-level syllabus. We learn the 4 locus in very first step in grade 9 syllabus. Right, you know that 4 locus start with the grade 9 syllabus. Right, now we are seeing to the question ABCD. Right, I will future I will do in future some questions related to the construction, the locus as well, the graphs, whatever the parts as you request. Right, 12 centimeter and here 8 centimeter. Okay, and A, B, C, D, they are A, B, C, D. Right, so see the question. Right, A, B, C, D is a rectangle. Sketch in the diagram the location of the point P, equal distance from AB and AD. From AB, AB is a line. This is AB. And AD also a line. This is line, this is line. So equidistance to 2 line is angle bisector. So these are the 4 locus. Equidistance to a fixed point. Equidistance to a point. I mentioned that is A to indicate a point. The second locus is equidistance to 2 points. I indicate A 1 point and B the other point. So this is how the questions deal. A and B. The third one, equidistance to a line, I indicate it by AB because that's the line indication AB. The fourth one, equidistance to 2 lines, like I indicate AB and BC. This is how the questions given. My equation එක දෙන්නේ. The exam එකේදී question එක දෙන්නේ මේ හතරෙන් එකක් අඳින්න පුතා. දෙකක් අඳින්නේ නෑ අපිට out of these 4 one locus to be drawn. If they give the 2 questions, 2 locus, 1 locus automatically being drawn. එයාලා ඇදලා දෙනවා එකක්. ඉතින් ඉගෙන ගන්න. Right. but මේ හතරෙන් එකක් ඉන්නේ. මේ language එක අඳුර ගන්න. Equidistance of point, whether they are saying equidistance to 2 point, whether they are saying equidistance to a line or equidistance to 2 lines. Right. So now we check. Here equidistance to AB line, BC, AD line, like in this format. 2 lines equidistance means they are angle bisector, right? You know how to draw the angle bisector. Make an arc, right? Increase the distance, make an arc there, and go to the other terminal, make an arc. Now that connect the point. So that locus gives you the equidistance to these 2 lines, right? And the next part, see there, what the next part, and 8 from A. From A means equidistance to a point. So that is the point A, right? 8 apart from that mean a circle with radius 8. So you can see now arc is drawn. That arc gives you 8 distance away from A. Equidistance to a point is the circle. Equidistance to 2 point is the perpendicular bisector of the 2 points. Equidistance to a line means a parallel line. Equidistance to 2 lines mean the angle bisector. So these are the 4 locus. Right? Tell me. Equidistance to a point is circle. Equidistance to 2 point is perpendicular bisector. Equidistance to a line is perpendicular line. Equidistance to 2 line is the angle bisector. So out of these 4, 1 locus is given. මේ හතරෙන් එකක් තමයි exam එකට එන්නේ. හරියටම precisely we can determine the content of the equations, right? එතකොට මේකේ පුතා 1 locus is automatically drawn. We drew the second locus, the angle bisector. So where these 2 locus conditions satisfied means where these 2 locus meet each other. So that gives you this point. So that is a point to be marked. Right. ඔන්න ඉතින් බලන්න ප්‍රශ්න 25 කොච්චර තීර පැත්ත ටාගට් කරාද දැන් මුලින් ප්‍රශ්න බැරි වෙච්ච අයට මම හිතන්නේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේක ඔපචුනිටි එකක් ඊළඟ පේපර් එක ඩෙවලොප් කරන්න. හරිද? එතකොට අද අපි මේ 25 ඩිස්කස් කරේ. එතකොට හෙට මම ඒ කියන්නේ මේ පේපර් ක්ලාස් එකට අමතරව පුළුවන් වෙලාවට ඉරිදා right ඉරිදා රෑ 8 ඉඳලා ඒ පොඩි තව සෙෂන් එකක් කරනවා. හෙට පොඩි තියරි පාර්ට් එකක් සාමාන්‍ය පැයක් සමාරක තියරි පාර්ට් එකක් මොකද ඔන්ලයින් ගොඩාක් වෙලා පිටින් අපහසුයි ආරකට අපහසුයි ඒ නිසා හෙට මම ආයි ඩිස්කස් කරනවා පොඩි ඔන්ලයින් පාර්ට් එකක් ඒක graph කියන සෙෂන් එකකින් දෙවෙනි පේපර් එකේ graph එකේ අර අපි දෙන කෙටි ප්‍රශ්නේ graph එකේ කොහොමද හදාගන්නේ කියන එක අපිට ඩිස්කස් කරනවා graph lesson එක theory part එකක් paper එකක් නෙමෙයි. ඒකට ආයෙ theory paper එක අපි බදාද දානවා group එකට. ආයෙ Saturday කතා කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ Sunday ආයෙ theory part එකක් යනවා. ඒතර අපි සතියේ දවස් දෙකක් උඩරිම try කරනවා මගේ schedule එකත් අනුව physical class උත් යන අතරේ මම මේ අද උදේ 7:00 ඉඳලා හවස 6:00 වෙනකම් physical class තිබිලා ඊට පස්සේ තමයි මේ online එකට setting වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මං කියන්නේ මේ ප්‍රයෝජනීය මහන්සිය හොඳට ඔයාලා අපිට නොහැර හරියට ගත්තොත් පුතා අනිවාර්යෙන් solid එකකට මං කියන්නේ ලකුණු 90 කරතරයට යන පුළුවන්. අද සතුටු ඉතින් ළමයි ලීව් වෙන්නේ නැතුව මුල ඉඳලා session එකට ඉන්න එක අන්න ඒක තමයි වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉන්න ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වුණාට කමක් නැහැ. පිරිස හැමදාම live ඒකට live සම්බන්ධ වෙලා වැඩි කරගෙන යන්න. හරි. මොනවාට ගැටලු තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මගේ WhatsApp එකට දාන්න. ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් මගේ personally අහන්න. අපි මේක ඉස්සරහට කරගෙන යමු. එතකොට ඊට සෙෂන් එක රෑ 8ට පටන් ගන්නවා. 8 ඉඳලා වෙලාවක් ඒ සෙෂන් එක ඉවර කරනවා මම. graph එකේ පළවෙනි part එකෙන් එන ප්‍රශ්නය සාකච්ඡා කරනවා. ඔය අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් time එක adjust කරගන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට තියෙන වෙලාවක practice ටික කරමු. හොඳයි පුතා එහෙනම් පැහැදිලිද අද සෙෂන් එක හැමෝටම යමක් ගෙනුණා නේද? right. එහෙනම් අපි හෙට හම්බ වෙමු හෙට සෙෂන් එකත් එක්ක. එහෙනම් අදට අපි සෙෂන් එක වයිඩ් අප් කරමු. එහෙනම් ඔබට thank you very much. good night. අපි හෙට හම්බ වෙමු සෙෂන් එකත් එක්ක.